Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel as we are the UFC in the modern day world and kind of what would look like without COVID, as we're almost getting there as far as we do have a new fresh matchup though, at least as far as for Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier, the Cannon Man himself, the man we just saw last Saturday in real life, put on an absolute clinic against Marvin Vettori. As far as shockingly that fight went to a decision. I cannot believe Marvin Vettori held in there. And also, I mean, what a comeback for Jared Cannonier. It was looking really rough after that first round. Came out huge in the second and full steam ahead after that. That was a really, really impressive performance. And we can see a rematch here in real life between these two. Because obviously these two men fought on my birthday, funny enough, at UFC 254 in Abu Dhabi. The Gaethje Khabib fight. Yeah, as far as that was the main. This was the co-main. Whittaker won by decision, if I remember correctly. I believe it was 29-28 was on the scorecards for that co-main event. And we get to move it up a little bit. Mainly why this is happening because Paul Felder, Dan Hooker, that fight with Paul Felder going down with a torn ACL. We need somebody to kind of fill in a big-time main event spot. And since, they had a fight in real life, obviously, in October, just felt like this was the time to do it. Now, obviously, Jared Cannonier, he fought Jack Hermanson? It was around this time on a fight night show, and that's when he was going after that win he took on Whittaker. But we're going to speed it up a little bit here, and I think this is a hell of a fight, though. I always thought these two, stylistically, they made a lot of sense. They could stand and bang. Cannonier's a little bit better of a wrestler, but not really. It's about the same. I would say just a slight edge to Cannonier if I had to place my money on someone, but as far as being the better wrestler. But this is going to be a great fight. Obviously, this being in New Zealand, a bit of a hometown crowd for Whittaker is going to be there. A long way from home is Jared Cannonier, but that's going to be a fun main event. As Damir Esmagulov he is getting the big opportunity to step in to fill in for Paul Felder to take on Dan Hooker in the co-main as well at 155. Tyson Pedro taking on Devin Clark at 205. It's our only light heavyweight contest on the main card. And Leonardo Santos taking on Ismaili Naradiev as Ismaili and Leonardo Santos, a guy that was on the UFC save, the Pride FC save. So that's kind of fun that we get to see someone that's been on now both series on the channel. He's got a big opportunity, though. I mean, this is a bit of a feeding of the youth to a experienced veteran like Leonardo Santos, but maybe he'll change that right up. And then the opener at 145 women's featherweight contest, a division that is on its fucking last leg, and just in this save alone, but obviously in real life it's basically dead. Megan Anderson versus Norma Dumont, I always want to say Durmont, but Norma Dumont Viana at 145. Megan Anderson's a fun 145er. Norma Dumont Viana is looking to hopefully push the pace and keep standing, but we'll see. Let's see how that one plays out in the opener. As our heavyweight contest, as Latafi giving up a good bit of weight, obviously. He's lighter weight, the transition to heavyweight and kind of and later stages, rather, of his career, is looking to get a huge win over Ben Sassoli. That's going to be a tough fight. Tough fight. Latafi, of course, is going to look to ground and pound you, look to take you down and just put on a fucking clinic, as far as from a wrestling standpoint. Put you in the deep waters, especially as a heavyweight. As far as it's always a gamble. Those heavyweight fights, if it goes past the first round, sometimes it can turn into a bit of a shit show, but I know Latafi's got the motor to keep going, but it's going to be Ben Sassoli's really, as far as his motor, that's going to be in question for that fight. With Shane Young against Zubhari Tokogov. Shane Young, you can see, missed weight, missed by 2 pounds, so back-to-back cards where somebody's missed weight, a little bit more as far as realistic with these weight misses. But yeah, I mean, either, from cutting weight for featherweight and cutting it for bantamweight, it's a tough cut. It's a tough cut dropping down to 145 or 135. It's a lot of weight. A lot of weight to be cutting, and you're going to be probably seeing a lot more guys missing weight at that division for sure. As I mean, it's going to be an interesting fight though. 145. We have a lot of 145s and 155 fights because obviously that's kind of our most stacked divisions. Because that's kind of like the normal. Everyone kind of walks around at like 165, 170. They're kind of a normal. I would say that's the average weight for a human male at least. Just seems like that's probably the average. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight to see what Shane Young can do with that 2-pound weight advantage. Obviously, it's not going to be that big of a deal, but 2 pounds could go a long way there at 145. It's Luke Jumo taking on Shavkat Rakhmonov. Oh my God, is Shavkat making a big debut at 170? Obviously, he goes on to just have a fucking run. But this is a big opportunity for him to get off on the right track here in the save at least. Then Jonathan Pierce against Jamie McCauley. As Jonathan Pierce, 155, Jamie McCauley. I always want to say Jamie McCauley, but Jamie Mullarkey. I don't know why I always feel like it's Mullarkey, but yeah, it's Mullarkey. Mullarkey. Rather, Jesus, I'm all over the place. Jamie Mullarkey at 155. Australian native, so a bit of a hometown fight for him as well. And then the 155, Brad Riddle and Omar Antonio Morales opening up the prelim. Alrighty, so yeah, as far as for the analytic side of things, with our main event, 5th time that Robert Whittaker is going to be main eventing a a UFC event. The 2nd time for Jared Cannonier, the Cannon Man, the Killer Gorilla, as Jared Cannonier looking to have just a major win if he can pull this off. As Jared Cannonier, as far as this picture does not do him justice, but yeah, 13-4, 6-4 in the UFC. Of course, has fought at heavyweight, has fought at light heavyweight, and he definitely found his home at middleweight. Though this has been, he's just looked like an absolute savage in there. He did fight Jack Hermanson. I was thinking that was in 2020. Guess it wasn't. So yeah, as far as at least this is attracting well. So yeah, we just moved the fight up. So that's good. As far as when you fight Dominic Reyes, as far as he fought Blachowicz as well, he fought Glover Teixeira as well. Like, those are some tough guys at light heavyweight. He probably could have done okay, but I think this gives him a much better advantage at middleweight. But this is a huge test, though, obviously, with Robert the Reaper Whittaker. I mean, this is a man that is just, it feels like he's got it all, as far as with stand-up wise. He's got, he's a karate Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter, but his boxing's really improved. He, of course, he won, the Ultimate Fighter, the Smashers. As 20-5 though, 11-3, just had the loss to Adesanya, which that was a much better fight the first time around. The second time around, but he probably had a good chance of winning the fight in the second round, or in the second fight though, rather, in the rematch. Yeah, he's fought Ryan Hall, Derek Brunson, Jacare Souza, Yoel Romero twice. Has had a tough fucking go of it, that is for sure. And to have be the guy that had just incredible 2017, 2018. Yeah, became the middleweight champion, of course, here, as far as beating, for the interim title. It wasn't the actual belt, but yeah, for the interim belt. That's crazy. Lost to Court McKee. That is crazy to kind of think about. And, the Stephen Thompson fight. I remember watching that card, but I don't remember that fight. Yeah, because I was almost graduating. Wow, that's almost 10 years ago. But yeah, that was, I do remember that card, Sam McMahon and Ronda Rousey. I fought a lot of Ronda cards. They had the Ronda Holly Holm. What a card, obviously. Very shocking. And Miocic and Mark Hunt as well. I remember seeing this card, but I don't remember that fight, so that was weird. But yeah, Jacare Souza, and that fight, I remember that fight, though, the Jacare Souza. That was kind of the run. It was just like, oh my god, yeah. The Derek Brunson was like, oh my god, this guy's actually like a top, like, middleweight in the world, and then he just goes on a tear. Uriah Hall win was huge for sure, but you kind of go, well, as far as Uriah Hall's had such a weird career, even at that point, it was like, is he gonna be a top guy? Is he not gonna be a top guy? But yeah, this is a hell of a matchup. This is a hell of a matchup. This was a very good fight in real life. Should be a good fight here. Should be even that rematch should be even better. Cannonier, it's just crazy how I feel like he's improved so much. And then that Adesanya fight, the title fight for him, it was levels. As far as that, it was clear Adesanya was so much better than him. He could just pick him apart, use his reach, and just, yeah, maybe the second time around, if in fact Cannonier beats Whittaker, maybe he'll kind of try to push it a little bit more and know that this might be his last shot at being a middleweight champion. That he's got to go for broke. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But yeah, significant weight advantage for Cannonier. Robert Whittaker, though, is the favorite, which is no surprise. He definitely has the size advantage too. But they're coming off a loss to Adesanya. I think it's a great chance for him to bounce back with a huge win in somewhat his hometown. As far as maybe not a stone throw away, but a nice little boat trip away from Australia to New Zealand. So it's going to be their neighboring nation, if you will, as far as with that. But that's going to be a fun main event. Going to be a fun one for sure. As Demir against Dan the Hangman Hooker. Yeah, Dan Hooker, the big time favorite. Demir just stepping in on a short, as far as a short basis. Want to say he has like a week of preparing for Dan Hooker. Same thing with Dan Hooker though. As far as going the opposite way of that. That's kind of a one thing that no one really kind of talks about when a guy takes a fight on such short notice. It's also a bit of a curveball for the fighter as well that's been preparing for somebody else. Now you got to completely change your game plan for somebody else. But yeah, Dan Hooker, just skills-wise, is just a little too much for him. But this should be a good fight, though. I think Demir, they're giving him not enough credit, as far as 19-1, 3-0. He's got a great stand-up game, obviously with a Sonata background, as far as being able to... Sonata, of course, that style, it's kind of like Sambo, but a little bit more wrestling background to it. And as far as, because I always felt like Sambo kind of used like judo more than like actual like wrestling, where as far as I feel like Sonata does a little bit more of that, where it's mainly judo and wrestling into one. So, which is a great kind of style to have in mixed martial arts, at least in I would say in the UFC rules, where you don't have to worry about getting knee in the head or anything. But now you have to worry about it, because in this save at least. But yeah, this is going to be a fun fight, though, because I think if Dan Hooker gets caught and ends up going to the ground, could go very bad. But he is obviously the hometown kid. Auckland, New Zealand, big-time fight for him. Fought Ali Quinta, fought James Vick, had the Edson Barbosa fight, which I was a little bummed out about that fight. So I thought that was going to be a very, very exciting fight, especially after the fights he had with Gilbert Burns and Jim Miller. And then even I remember the Ross Pearson fight. Yeah, because Derek Lewis and Mark Hunt, that fight night was crazy. I definitely saw that Mark fight as well with UFC 219. Yeah, Rodriguez. That's weird. I don't remember that. But I could have swore I saw Cormier and Gustafsson. But that's a crazy fight. Looking back now, obviously, where those two are at in their careers. But yeah, obviously, Dan Hooker moved up to lightweight, and obviously Yair Rodriguez is killing it in featherweight. But yeah, this is a big-time fight for both guys. I wouldn't count out, depending on what the betting odds are, wouldn't be a bad call to take an underdog bet on Demir. That is for sure, just from a money standpoint. But Tyson Pedro against Devin Brown Bear Clark. First time they have fought. Devin Clark, slight favorite, 4-3 on the Blurcat staff picks. He's 10-4, 4-4 in the UFC though. Just hasn't found a great momentum as far as from that perspective. But he's fought some tough guys though. He fought Jan. He fought Ryan Spann recently. Alexander Radic as well, as far as losing to him. But yeah, but the Darko Stoic fight, as far as that was his last win. So at least he's coming off a win of last year, but he's fought a lot. He's fought basically twice a year since 2017. Probably looking to make the same thing here in 2020. And for Tyson Pedro, as far as 7-3, Sydney, Australia, is another guy that's fighting in a neighboring country for sure, as far as with New Zealand, but lost to Shogun and lost to OSP. Not a great sign if you're a young talent like that and you're getting finished by the aging veterans of the light heavyweight division. That's not a great sign. Not a great sign. It's crazy he's ranked though at 25th in the world, 19th in the UFC. Oh, I forgot his father's the owner of King of the Cage. That's wild. Wild to think that this is such a close fight. I think this is going to be as far as for a light heavyweight contest, the only one on the card should be a barn burner. Should be, because I think stylistically their styles match up pretty well. As Ismali, the Austrian, rather, how about that Austrian? The Austrian Wonder Boy taking on Leonardo Santos. Santos finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. As Ismali has a significant weight advantage for this fight, and he has the Blur staff picks favorite, which makes sense. 35 years old, Leonardo Santos, so 17-3-1. It's crazy that he is 6-0 with the draw. So he hasn't lost in UFC, but he took a long hiatus after 2016. It's been a long time since we saw him. He's still undefeated in the UFC, so that is a massive get for him. So the big chance for Ismali, though, to be able to be the guy to put the 1 in that record. It's just funny having an Austrian fighter on the New Zealand card, but yeah, making his UFC debut at 22 years old. This is a big get for him. Big get for him. And as far as to be able to have had now 3 fights in 2019, his 4th fight here at 23 years old is pretty massive. Pretty massive. It was a big chance for him. Big chance for him to really shake things up. And to throw a huge monkey wrench into Leonardo Santos' plans. Because at 35, he still has some time to get shit going. As far as Megan Anderson, looking to stop the debuting Norma, the Immortal, Dumont, Biana. As Megan Anderson, big favorite on this one. No surprise there. Finished 3 of her last 5 opponents. From Australia as well. 9-4, 2-2 in the UFC. She beat Zahara Ferran dos Santos, won with a triangle. Back in October, she beat Kat Zingano as well by Dr. Stoppage. She fought Holly Holm, has fought Felicia Spencer. Fought some tough fighters, for sure. And as far as this is a tough draw for Norma Dumont Viana. Oh, it is a bantamweight fight. I was thinking it was a featherweight fight. Am I wrong? Oh, it is. Okay, she just normally fights at bantamweight. I see now. But yeah, going up in a weight class too, that's a tough draw. It's going to be tough. For Megan Anderson, rather. Megan Anderson. Zeri Tafe, the sledgehammer himself, taking on Bin Combat Wombat Sosoli. Has Bin Sosoli, significant weight advantage, but of course, Latafi has the fight experience, has the better wrestling, is just an absolute savage in there, and especially at heavyweight, gives guys a lot of problems. At 5'8", going up from light heavyweight to heavyweight, I think that's the better call for him. He's going to have a significant, as far as not having a significant reach advantage on anybody, but just the wrestling skills, and I think just the gas tank alone is going to be able to push a lot of heavyweight guys by the wayside. Now, it seems to be the same type of feeling here, as the Belmore, an Australian native of Ben Sosoli, the Combat Wombat, what a nickname though, but a man that, it's funny, the Tough 28 tattoo as well. This is a tough break for him though. At 7-2 and 2 no contest, had the draw, the no contest rather, with Greg Hardy, which, yeah, that fight was a bit of a shit show from what I remember. And it's like, I want to remember if that was a Greg Hardy no contest call. I believe that's what it was. If I remember correctly, I believe it was either an eye poke or something along those lines. Might have been a drug test thing. But yeah, Latafi's a tough opponent for him. He's fought a lot of tough guys. This is a bit of a feeding. But who knows? Maybe the Australian native can shock the world. It's Zambaria, Warrior, Tucker Golf, taking on Sugar Shane Young. Yes, Zambaria hasn't won since December of 2015. Been a long-ass time. Shane Young with a 7-inch reach advantage. Still not the favorite, though. That's pretty crazy, as far as only one person backing Sugar Shane Young, the man who missed weight, obviously. But Subararia, obviously, Sambo background, but a Muay Thai background as well. Kind of more known for his Muay Thai, more known as it kind of was classically trained at Sambo, and I think kind of towards once he got into the actual fight business, as far as he started taking more Thai fights and started taking it a little bit more seriously. But yeah, I mean, as far as he lost to Renato Soriano back in May of 2016 was the last time, and it was a split decision loss. Having a split decision win, a split decision loss in your last two fights. It's been a long, long time since he's been in the UFC octagon, obviously, and this is a big chance for him to really showcase that he still has the skills to be a solid featherweight. But the New Zealand native and Sugar Shane Young, this is going to be a fun fight, though. Both guys could stand up. He's not a great wrestler, though, which is probably a bad sign when you're taking on somebody that is a Sambo fighter. But if they're looking to just have his Muay Thai skills, it's crazy he fought Volkanovski. Has a tough draw in your first fight. We're going to take on Volkanovski. But he's had great fights, though. He's had some great fights along the way. This should be a pretty fun fight as well. I wouldn't count out Shane Young. As far as a 7-inch reach advantage, you can't go wrong unless you're Christian Duncan. I'm still furious about that. A lot of money was left on the table, let's just say that, with him losing that fight. As Luke, the Jedi, Jumu taking on Shavkat Rakhmonov. Oh man, the Kazakhstan Savage making his debut. Big favorite here. Obviously, he turns out to be an absolute savage in real life, and I'm thinking he's going to mull over Luke Jumu here. As Luke is, as far as 13-5 New Zealand fighter. So it's tough that these New Zealand guys are getting fed on this prelim. And fought Diego Lima, though, so that's a good challenge for him going into this fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov. But Rakhmonov's 12-0, obviously. He goes on to still be undefeated, obviously, in real time here, 2023. A combat Sambo fighter. Dude that will just throw hands with anybody, too. Just awesome. I would say the savior at welterweight, I'll be honest. Him and Islam, if that fight ever happens, it's going to be electric. Going to be electric. And then Jonathan, JSP Pierce, taking on Jamie Malarkey, as Jamie Malarkey at 12-3, Central Coast, Australia, as lost in his debut to Brad Riddell. As far as with Jonathan Pierce, 9-4 rather, as lost in his debut as well to Joe Lozon. Getting as far as was looking to be fed was Joe Lozon here, but he was not letting go. But yeah, this is a tough fight for both guys. I think they both need a win. Jonathan Pierce, the slight favorite, 4-3 on the Blaircast staff picks. I would say Malarkey. I would probably hedge my bet towards him, but could go either way. It's a bit of a coin flip there. And then Brad Quake Riddell taking on Omar Antonio Morales, as Brad is the favorite. It's weird that the guy that he lost to, or the guy that he beat rather, is ahead of him on this fight card, but that's just the way she goes sometimes. As a Thailand fighter, kickboxer, he is New Zealand as far as he is a New Zealander, but obviously fighting out of Thailand. As this is a great fight for him. I think this is going to be a great fight because Omar Antonio Morales, freestyle fighter, Venezuelan, 9-0, hasn't lost yet. With a freestyle fighter, as far as that style, obviously, you kind of have to prepare for everything. The Dong Kyung Mei fight, though, was crazy in December. And to come off of that war here in now February, that's a quick turnaround for him. Obviously, the game kind of doesn't recognize that, but it is in real life. We'll see how it goes, see how it does, and see how this fight goes to start off the prelims. It's minus 110 for both guys. Yeah, very, very close. Tiger Muay Thai, Hard Knocks 365. Maya Yamasaki's referee. Cage side judges there, as Brad, being in front of a home crowd, get a loud cheer. Brad comes in looking to strike. There's a quick punch, doesn't hit it though. Fails on the jab, but lands the head kick. Doing a very good so far stand-up wise. Throwing a lot of strikes. Jab is wide, hits the body kick. There's Morales with a jab, but there's no power behind it at all. Scores the leg kick there. Brad is just throwing here, as Morales again trying to get in close and grapple or do something, but he can't do anything as Riddell doesn't land any of the strikes. Then he has a jab and a leg kick. There's a beautiful uppercut now. Knocks him down. Looking to hammer him down. Oh my god, the hammer fist. Or laying waste. Yamasaki steps in now that Morales goes limp. Just a complete dominating performance from Brad Riddle. No, Riddell, rather. I don't know why I said Riddle. Yeah, it's definitely not Riddle. Brad Riddell. Big win. 8-1. Great showing. Wasn't even close as far as from, even though the betting lines was both minus 110. Brad was the much better fighter. Gives a name check. Then went up Tiger Muay Thai. Obviously, response to all of his friends, family, and supporters. Jonathan JSP Pierce taking on Jamie Malarkey as Jamie Malarkey, slight underdog, plus 110 rather. Oh no, plus 100, excuse me, as minus 110 for Jonathan Pierce. MMA Lab for Jonathan Pierce, no team for Malarkey, which is probably why he is not the favorite. Because he should be the better fighter here. Steve Mazzagatti, our referee. Cage side judges, here we go. As the fight goes underway, here's Pierce with the left jab blocking away. Lands a flurry of 3 punches from Malarkey, then sees all of them landing with the right hand as well. There's a left jab and a straight right from Malarkey. Yeah, I figured this is how this would go. Malarkey just seems like to be the better stand-up fighter. Can't hit the step left jab, it's the straight right though. There's a left jab and a right hook. It's doing a nice job, a nice 1-2 again, a jab and a straight right. There's Pierce with the left hand though, then a right cross. There's a cut underneath the eye of Jonathan Pierce. 1-2 from Malarkey, fails to land. Pierce is able to grab him now, look for the trip. It's a great takedown. That definitely saved him for the round. I don't think he won it, but he might win with the Kimura here, and he does. Fuck going to the distance. Jonathan Pierce says, I'm just taking down, take a Kimura. What a win, and what a great job as far as to be able to just take him down very, very quickly after the cut and make quick work out of him, making it 10-4. Jamie Malarkey, 12-4, unfortunately for him. And it's giving thanks, Jonathan Pierce, for his team and MMA Lab. He's very responsive to all the fans for coming to support him. Looking at the replay of the finish, Jonathan Pierce says he's very happy to have won with all that submission training paying off. It was fantastic and knows exactly how to work a crowd and sell himself. Shavkat Rachmanov against Luke the Jedi. That's actually not that far off than what I thought the betting odds would be. I thought it was going to be way more. I thought it was going to be like minus 500. I guess that's still only 90 off, but thought maybe even 650. But yeah, 13-5, 12-0 for the underdog, for the favorite, the undefeated Kazakhstan welterweight. Steve Mazzagatti back out there for this one. Cage side judges there. Luke's hometown kid. Maybe he'll get a big win here. We'll see. Touch of gloves. Luke's looking to step in. There's a jab. Oh, hit some of the high right head kick though. That's a good job on Luke, though. There's a counter left hand. Now there's a leg kick. Engage. Luke with a right hand, but gets absorbed on his opponent's gloves. Doesn't hit the 1-2. Looks for the takedown, though. That's a great job. Yeah, that's for the best. Get the takedown. We get a scramble from Luke, but he's underneath him in north-south. So we'll see what happens as Shavkat throws some elbows to the body. And blocks a scramble. Yeah, just gonna make sure you stay in control here. Some elbows to the ribs again. Some more elbows to the ribs. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't stand him up. Oh, look at that. Tries to spin out into an arm bar here. Not happening now. At least you go for the finish to end out the first round. That was very, very smart of Shavkat. Definitely won that round, though. 10-9 for sure. Yeah, I mean, those elbows to the ribs were not feeling too hot, I'm assuming, there. As far as standing train blows, neither fighter can really do anything. Luke does have the stand-up advantage, though. As I say that, there's a nice left jab and a right cross. Oh, and that cut on Shavkat, though. See what happens here. There's a left jab and a left roundhouse kick to the body. There's a left jab and also just about lands a head kick, though. He is a head kick away from winning this fight. I really do feel that. As a left jab fades a big right punch. As Shavkat looking to go for the takedown, but Luke looking to push the pace here. There's a straight right after not being able to set up the step strikes. Looking to check on the cut. Yeah, not too much of a problem there. We're back underway. 2 quick punches doesn't hit either of them. Now Shavkat looking to clinch him up here. Got him up against the cage. If he takes him down here, it's going to be an easy round for Shavkat as well. Tries to go for an elbow, but that would have been huge. But yeah, as far as Luke preventing him with the wrestling. Yeah, just stuck against the cage again. Round 2 is over. Yeah, that was very, very close. I'm going to give it to Luke, though, off of damage. So, the undefeated record's in jeopardy. It is in jeopardy, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he needs a finish. I think if he has a great dominant third round, if he has a 10-8 round, I think he can win this fight. We'll see. Luke's still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now. He's trying to throw a 1-2, doesn't land either blow. That's a great job by Shavgato to be able to grab him up against the cage here, potentially. Does so. This is exactly what you need if you're Shavgato. I mean, these are now elbows and knees. Loving it. Loving it. Short left uppercut now. Knee to the thigh now. That was blocked, though, actually, the knee to the thigh. Got him against the cage. Referee's going to separate him. I think that's a good call for Mazzagatti. Still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little heavier now. There's a left cross. Off target with the left jab hits the right hand. So reopen the gash above the eye. As far as there's a jab, and then a right roundhouse kick to the ribs. Luke did a pretty good job here. I mean, you know, as far as for such a heavy underdog, he definitely put on a showing for his hometown. Just, didn't have enough, though, unfortunately. Shavgat was just the better grappler. Think he won that one. Think that was a 10-9 round for Shavgat. Should be. Oh, we got all of them going 30-27. I would at least give him the second, but I get it, though. Hell of a fight, though. That was actually a really good fight. Tough break for Luke the Jedi Juma, though. He had a good showing for a guy that was such a heavy underdog. Yeah, very happy to kept his UFC debut, making it 13-0. Gotta love him. There's Baria versus Sugar Shane Young. There's Subaria Tukov as at 5'8", 145. Shane Young was supposed to be 5'8", 145, but obviously missed weight. 18-4-1, 13-4. See how the New Zealand native does here as the underdog again. Yeah, I mean, as far as the better wrestler for sure is Zubaria. But as far as Shane Young, he's fought a lot of tough talent. He's a great kickboxer. If it stays standing, I wouldn't... It's not that far-fetched to say that Shane Young might be the better stand-up fighter. We'll see, though. Yamazaki's our referee. Stateside judges. Finding from home crowd is Shane Young getting a loud cheer here. Here we go. They come up close. Here is looking to grapple, but couldn't take the initiative. It's a leg kick from Shane Young. Misses the right hand. Here comes the counter with a jab and a right hand. Again. Zubaria misses the big right hand. Here comes another counter with a quick left jab and a big right hand that just misses. There's a left jab and a right cross. Just about lands a head kick, does Zubaria there, after landing the left jab. Left jab, it also has the right hand blocked. There's a left jab, it also as well, off target with a head kick. Oh, yeah, now Zubaria with the clinch. This is what you don't need if you're a Shane Young supporter, as this is going to be tough. You got him up against the cage, trying to get the Muay Thai clinch. Oh, gets caught in the Muay Thai clinch. Oh, but partially blocks the knee strike, though. Misses it. Missed the body kick, and now they're looking to move in with a left jab but and a hook, but doesn't find that mark either on the left hook to the body. Young misses the right cross. Here comes a counter. So a quick left jab and a right hook that's ducked. Now glancing at the clock. Yeah, it's not looking good. Shane Young, you lost that round. Gets pieced up a little bit there. But he hits a left kick to the body. Yeah, not great. Not great. Zubaria got him against the ropes. Got him against the cage. It didn't really do a whole lot. Just kept him up against the cage and was just grinding him out. Not a great strategy for the first round. And not a great strategy after having such a good fight that we just saw. Shane Young swing past the right hook attempt and attacks with a jab and a right cross. They engage. Left jab, but misses the high kick. Parry left jabs, misses the roundhouse kick to the body. Moves in on Zubaria, preparing to throw. But Zubaria was trying to get in close. But again, Shane Young doing a good job of pushing the fight as lands a left jab, misses the body shot, though. Shane Young again. Two tentative jabs from Zubaria, but neither of them have power. And now attacking with intent now. Yeah, Shane Young, he knows he's lost that first round. He's got to come out and throw with some intent. Flurry of three punches and catches him with the right hook. Shane Young just trying to relax here. Trying to keep these combinations going. Misses the right hook, does Zubaria. There's a leg kick that's checked from Shane Young, and Zubaria trying to get some grappling. So, but Shane Young again was the more aggressive fighter. There's a nice jab and a right cross from Sugar Shane Young. Two fighters engaged, slipping past the right hook and counters with a pair of jabs, and a roundhouse kick to the body that's too short. There's a left hand from Zubaria. Left kick that lands from the lead leg, but misses the left jab. Initiating a strike exchange, Zabaria misses the left hand. Here comes a jab, and another big head kick follows that misses, though, unfortunately, as far as now Shane Young starting to tire out. Big right hand misses. Here comes a counter with a solid right hand from Shane Young. Nice little two-punch combination, a quick left and straight right. Zabaria with a one-punch flurry there, and then hits him with a quick kick to the lead leg. Neither fighter can land anything. Zabaria goes for a leg kick, doesn't connect though. It's off target with a jab, also can't hit the right cross. This Shane Young as misses the left jab and misses the spinning back kick. There's another jab, misses the low kick. Tough second round. As far as Shane Young did a little bit more in that round, I think he won it. I'd say 10-9 for both guys. Yeah, it's 19-19 going into the final round. This is massive for both guys. Zabaria probably should go for a takedown, if I'm being honest, because I don't think he'll be able to stop him. But Shane Young should try to keep it standing as much as he can. Pair of jabs and a right hook. There's a left jab and a great right hook from Zabaria. As there's a left hand and the right hand of the body, right hand of the body fails to land. Zabaria checks the leg, counters with a quick left jab and a good right hook. That's a great start so far from Zabaria. It's off target with a jab, lands and blow with a high kick. Left jab and also lands the left hook to the body. Off target with a left head kick, now is off balance. Here comes a counter with a left cross. Trying to get some grappling started, but again, a jab hits home from Shane Young, then catches him with a right hook. Nice little 1-2. 2 minutes left. Young misses the leg kick. Here comes a counter with a left jab and a quick head kick. Oh, and he rocks him. Zabaria might have him here. Looking to try and step in and trying to knee him, but it was an awkward angle. Doesn't get it, though. Clears his head, and now we're back. Yeah, well, he's just going to go for the takedown. Yeah, that will do it for Zabaria. He pulled off the major third round. Trying to slice him up some elbows, trying to separate him and try to scramble the Shane Young, but it's not going to happen. Look for the Kimura. Got the Kimura right at the end of the round. What a win. What a win for Zabaria. Tough break for Shane Young. This was a bit of a mismatch as far as from a stylistic point of view. From obviously him being such a high-level kickboxer. Figured maybe with the reach advantage too, he would be able to do something stand-up-wise, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately. As he thanks everyone connected to Tiger Muay Thai for helping him prepare for the fight, and also for supporting him financially. He asked who he want to fight next. He says, "I'll fight whoever they put in front of him, but thinks Gavin Tucker will be a particularly good contest." As Ira Latafi, the sledgehammer himself, taking on Bin Combat Wombat Sasoli. It's going to be a fun fight. A minus 710 favorite. God damn, that makes a lot of sense, though. But boy, the size, though. You think just from a pure size advantage that he could have a puncher's chance of being able to do it. We shall see. We shall see. Yamasaki's our referee. Rings our cage. I just did it again. Weight difference here is obvious. Giving up at least 50 pounds is Latafi. They touch gloves. Oh, here comes Latafi with a jab and a left hook. That's some solid shit there. Stepping into the pocket. Two-punch combination. Didn't hit any of them. Oh boy, Latafi stalks forward. There's a left hand from Sasoli. Can't connect with the jab. Catches him with a left hook, though. Walking him down. Left hand in the exchange. 1-2 combination. Again, is avoided by Sasoli. There's a jab in the exchange. Connects with the jab. There's Latafi. The jabs are landing, but nothing big has landed so far. Misses the right hook. It's kind of a jab at the left hook that's ducked. They engage in the center. Latafi has a couple of jabs, finds nothing, but his left cross is blocked. Now he has a couple of jabs, but doesn't find the mark on the right hook. Comes together with a strike. Doesn't connect to the brace of jabs. Hits a leg kick, though, to the lead leg. Nice quick right, straight left. Nice little 1-2 there. Exchange of strikes happens right in the center of their cage. Neither fighter can land anything good, though. Minute left. Exchange of strikes doesn't go anywhere. Nice jab and a straight left from Vince Sasoli to end out the round. Yeah, I think Latafi did a little bit more. Probably 10-9. Yep. That's a good first round for him. We'll see what happens here in the second. It's just Sasoli, it's too much for him. The skills are just way too much. Way too much. As Sasoli lands a left hand in the exchange. Those are two quick punches. Doesn't hit either of them. Exchange of strikes doesn't produce any damage. Comes forward, the two fighters start trading blows. Sasoli throws a counter jab, misses. Right hand or straight left. Latafi, though, is slowing down. So I thought he'd have the better gas tank. Hasn't really been the case, but a good right jab and a good left hook off the counter. Left hand in the exchange is a quick flurry from Latafi. 3 strike combination. 2 of them land, but the big left hand misses. Latifi still bobbing out of the way of jab, moving in the pocket, 1-2 from Latifi, failing to land. He's pushing the pace, though. He's doing a really, really good job of making it tough on Ben. The left hook there after missing the setup strikes. Misses the big right hand, allowing Latifi to counter the right hook to the body. Forces exchange of strikes, misses the left hand in the exchange. Can't hit the setup strikes, hits the left cross, though. They're coming together and striking. Slipping past the right hook and counters the jab and a left cross that just misses, stepping forward. And the strike exchange begins. There's a counter jab and misses. Jab hits home from Latifi, but as far as he hits the straight left hand on Ben. Slipping forward and strike exchange begins. There's a left hand in the exchange. Connects to the jab. The big left hand misses. Looking very tired is Latifi, clinching to try and buy some recovery time. He's trying to push Ben, so he's back up against the cage. He's got him up against the cage now. Knee strike to the thigh to end out the second again. Just, he's too much for him. Ben's going to need a finish, that is for sure. There's a straight left from Latifi after missing the setup strikes. Missing the right cross, does Ben Sully. Here comes the counter with the right hook to the body. Latifi's breathing very, very hard now. There's a left hand. Off target with a jab. It's a kick to lead leg, though, Sully. And now there's a right jab, misses the left hook. So Sully's now slowing down. It's crazy that he had the better gas tank of the two. A brief exchange of strikes passes without either fighter really landing anything. Doesn't connect to the right jab or the left hand of the body. So Sully also misses as well. This is what happens. So when you get into the third round of a heavyweight fight, they just start swinging for the fences and they just miss every time. But Latifi with a left cross, though, off of that counter. So at least he lands something there. As again, a counter from Latifi comes in with a right jab and a left hook that's avoided at the last possible second. And again, missing. Does Sully. Here comes another counter to jab, but the left hook's ducked at the last possible second. Again, jab misses, also has his left cross blocked. So Sully misses the right to the right of jabs, and then also has a right hand taking on the gloves. Latifi's about to be blown up here. He's just on the brink of exhaustion. A nice 1-2. So Sully misses a couple of jabs as well as a right hand. Boy, oh boy, has Ben Sully got completely outclassed for fucking 15 minutes. Unreal. Yeah, 30-27 for the Sledgehammer himself, Latifi. What a fucking win. Terrible fight, though, but what a performance for him. This shows you how dominant he was. Yeah, minus 710 favorite and you don't finish the fight, though. That's a bit alarming. A bit alarming. As he gives thanks, praises his team and All-Stars Training Center. Very responsible on the fans who can support him. Got a lot of respect for Ben Sully and praises his toughness, though. As our main card, our opener, featherweight contest. Women's featherweight fight. Only women's fight on the whole card. Megan Anderson versus Norma, the immortal Dumont Viana. 9-4, 4-0. My God, minus 1030 favorite. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's got the 6 foot 145 for Megan Anderson. Very, very tall. As Herb Dean's our referee. Ringside, I did it again. Cage side judges as the fight begins here. They both move in and engage. Missing the right hook. Here comes a counter with a jab and a quick kick to the lead leg. They're standing straight in the center of their cage. Nothing really good shot lands, though, from either fighter. Fires off a counter jab. This Dumont Viana. Anderson connects the separate strikes. She hits Dumont Viana with a straight right, though. Stepping forward, looking to strike. They're stepping into the pocket. Doesn't trouble opponent with a combination ending with a low kick to the legs. Misses the right hook. Gets kind of the jab and a right hook as well. Meeting in the center. Doesn't connect with the left jab. Scores with a kick to the lead leg, though. There's another kick to the legs. My God, she's doing a great job with these leg kicks. Definitely feeling them. 2 minutes into this fight, she's definitely feeling these leg kicks. There's a kind of left hand from Dumont Viana. Lands a jab and kicks with the right hook. Counter jab doesn't connect, though. There's a left hand and a leg kick again. Boy, these leg kicks, they're going to be the death of her. You can already tell there's a left jab. Doesn't connect to the left jab, but hits the right hand, though. Dumont Viana dodges the right hand. Counterattacks with the right cross. Ooh, might have hurt her own hand on that one. That is not good. Especially, those leg kicks are doing well, but you still want to be able to punch. Avoids the jab, is able to move in the pocket, another slithering kick to the legs. Maybe not. Maybe she'll just win off leg kicks. Yeah, quite noticeably, she's feeling the damage of those leg kicks. Engage. Oh, a thumping kick to the thigh. Whew. You could just imagine the swelling. Imagine the bruising, the red marks up and down the calf and the thigh of Megan Anderson. Yeah, she has just been dominant so far. Moving in, engaging, misses the left jab, but lands the right hook, though. Good job from Norma to keep on fighting. Left jab doesn't connect with the right hand. Looking to take a few shots that's close enough to wrestle now. Interesting strategy from Megan Anderson. See what she does. Looking for the Muay Thai clinch. She's got her. Knee to the chest. Not much power behind it, though. I'm surprised she went away from the leg kicks, especially as how well that was going. Now Megan Anderson's getting a little tired now. It's weird. I felt like Norma did a very good job there in that second round, but now she's getting caught. Oh, there's a left hand and a right hook. She's doing a pretty good job here in the second round. Megan Anderson, again, looking to just get her up against the cage. Looking for another Muay Thai clinch. Just got her. Knee to the ribs. Lacked power again. She did enough, but it was pretty close. It was much closer than it was the first round, obviously. First round, she got fucking destroyed. Boy, oh boy. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Final round. Both fighters meet in the center. Demont Viana misses the right cross. Here comes she leaves herself open for the counter. It's a quick kick from Anderson. Looks like we'll see a shot from Demont Viana, but Anderson was more aggressive and took the initiative. There's a jab at a nice straight right. Demont Viana is barely able to walk, thanks to all these leg kicks now. Setting up the shot, Anderson, though, aggressively goes in for a nice high right head kick. Still didn't even rock her. Tell you what, though, Norma Demont Viana is tough as hell. Can't connect the substrate. It's a nice straight right hand, though. There's a right cross now that lands hard. She's really fucking her up here. This has been a pretty good fight for as far as a heavy favorite as Megan Anderson was. Norma Demont Viana has really pushed the pace. She's throwing in a good effort. As lands a left jab, fails on the body kick. There's a left hook from Demont Viana. Still can't fucking walk with those leg kicks barely. Misses the low kick. Doesn't connect with the right hand either. Pair of left jabs. Also has the right hand block. There's a nice right hook from Demont Viana. Anderson gets all of her. Looking to just muscle up against the cage. It's weird. Her entire strategy changed in the second round. I don't know why she went away from the leg kick. She threw like one in the entire 10 minutes of the second and third round. Very, very weird strategy. But she's still going to win the fight. She lost that round, though, for sure. I thought she would have lost the second, too. That might have been an interesting decision win for Norma Demont Viana if she would have done a little bit more in that second round. But, yeah, she's going to... I don't think a 30-27 was right. I think she did win that third round. 29-28 should have been that scorecard, but that's all right, as at least the right fighter wins still. Thanks to everyone connected to WMMA, as Megan Anderson, and I forgot it's WMMA and now Fitness as well, for having prepared for the fight and a sponsor for supporting her financially. And a lot of respect for Norma Demont Viana, praising her toughness. As Leonardo Santos versus Ismaili, the Austrian Wonder Boy. 19-3, 17-3-1, minus 250 the favor for the Australian. I knew I was going to do that. The Austrian, as Sanford MMA, Novoiana, and it's plus 190 for Leonardo Santos, the veteran, is the underdog for sure. Is this a feeding? We will see. As Herb Dean, referee, cage side judges, both weighed in at 170, but Ismaili's the much bigger fighter now, probably fighting around 180, 185. Ismaili looking to get something going here. Connects to the jab, but a poor body kick, is able to be caught by Leonardo Santos. Looking for the takedown. He's got the takedown, too. This is a great start. Well, here comes a scramble. Santos up against the cage. Got him. Oh, now he's pinned. Ismaili. Boy, Ismaili pins him. A couple of nice straight right hands. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. But he escaped, though, off the cage. But there's a left hand and a right cross that lands hard. Another right cross that lands hard. Oh my god, he's looking for everything here as Ismaili in this first round. Love it. Powerful body kick now. Jab lands. Beauty of a straight right. I can't believe no one's been really fucking rocked the way these guys have been swinging. Unreal. A jab and a big right hand. Again, there we go. There he rocks him. Here, 42 seconds left in the round. There's a knockdown. Is Ismaili going to be able to finish him here? Looks like he will. Not. Unreal. Saved by the bell. Is Leonardo Santos. Obviously, your round winner will be... That's a 10-8 round for sure. Very, very dominant. That's going to be a tough round to come back from. If you're Leonardo Santos, a straight right that lands hard. Might have broken his own hand off that one. So, brutal. Brutal to see Ismaili maybe potentially leave the door open here a little bit. There's straight right, though. He's still throwing stuff. Ismaili's definitely breathing a little heavier now. Fails on him with jab and kicks him with a low kick to the front leg. Santos looking for a takedown. Can't get him down, though. Looking for the trip. Still can't get him down. And there's a break. in the grappling battle. Santos again trying to get a grappling advantage going, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Jab is wide, there's straight right. Blood now. It's a nasty cut on the scalp. On the scalp. As Santos comes in, apparently willing to take a few hits. It means getting close to the grapple. I think that's a terrible idea. But he's got him. See what he can do. Got him up against the cage. Looking for an elbow now. That's a big elbow, though, from Leonardo Santos. Just hits him with a knee, just trying to keep him up against the cage, then out the round. Which he does. 10-9 round. Yeah, he's going to need to finish. Look at that. Stop that cut on the scalp. Leonardo Santos. There's a lovely head kick to start off the third round. And he's on rubbery legs. Still catches him. My God. I mean, as far as regaining his wits about him after the head kick. And here we go. We're back in the center. Oh, another great high kick. Holy shit. Another one that rocks him. Somehow gets saved with a partial block of the uppercut. Unreal. Left hand. Santos is able to clinch with him. Looking to sweep him. Not happening, though. Leonardo Santos trying to just get him against the cage here. Another quick elbow. Listen, if he could rock him with this elbow, that would be quite the game changer. He can't take him down, though, unfortunately. But this has been a great performance from Leonardo Santos, albeit in a losing effort. There's a glancing blow and a high kick as well. There's a left jab and a right hand absorbed on the glove. Santos is now finally getting tired after getting his ass beat for 15 minutes. As they catch him with the right hook. Couldn't finish him, but he sure did fuck him up. Here we go. Gets a takedown, too, to end out the fight. What a performance from Leonardo Santos to be able to hang on like that. That was just crazy. Obviously, he's going to win 30-27. But just brutal performance. Brutal beating was put on Leonardo Santos here. And he just refused to quit. Unreal. Yeah, it's a tough fight. Gives a show of respect to Leonardo Santos. Thanks everyone at Sanford MMA. Give the name check to everyone. Officers very responsible to all of his friends, family, supporters. It's Tyson Pedro against Devin Brown Bear Clark. Sydney Australian native against the South Dakota native. 10-4, 7-3 karate, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, and the wrestling background. Light heavyweight contest. It's going to be an interesting one. It's very, very close. -140, -110. Wrestler versus stand-up fighter. With the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, I think that's going to help him out a little bit. But usually I would say the wrestler, 9 times out of 10, has a pretty solid advantage over somebody. It's just the way everyone's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game is. It's not like everyone's so one-dimensional anymore. Usually with their wrestling background, they also are great on their back as well. In MMA, it just seems to be the case. As cage side judges... Here we go, opening bell. Clark looking for a takedown, couldn't take the initiative. There's a quick punch doesn't land. Weak flick left hand jab from Clark. There's a left high kick, though, the side of the head. Jab is wide, hits him with a straight left. Clark with the takedown, doesn't get it, though. Still has a hold of him, though. Gets him up against the cage here. Pedro again, is able to pull clear and circle out. Pedro with a nice jab and a nice left hook to the ribs. Nice little combinations here, yeah? Devin Clark not doing a great job as far as he's just kind of shooting for gold as there's a takedown. At least he's got it. And he's going to lay and pray. Not great. Not great at all. Lay and pray. You need him to be stood up. They don't stand him up. Brutal. Yeah. I mean, I want to give it to Tyson Pedro just out of respect. You probably would give it to Devin Clark, though, if I had to guess that round, and guessing how the judges scored it. 2 defensive jabs, hits from Clark, neither of them have power. Can't connect with the jab and catches him the left hook. He's looking like he was wanting to get some grappling started as far as but the threat of getting hit is keeping him from rushing in here. Big right hand, but he's avoids the left. Tentative right hand from Clark. There's a right jab and a straight left. Pedro's starting to slow down. That's not a good sign. But he's still landing shots, though. Nice jab and a left hook. There's a jab and a vicious left hand that misses. There's a right jab and a left hook to the body. Nice little 1-2s here from Pedro. He's doing a very, very good job. Right jab and a straight left. Tries to go to the body with a sharp hook. It's off target, though. Shortening the range. Looking to strike. There's a right hand from Clark. Misses all the strikes in the combination with a kick to the body. Now Pedro's starting to lower his hands. Not a good sign there either. But as Pedro's more aggressive, took the initiative. There's a head kick, though, after the jab. There's a combination that fails to land after the attempted roundhouse body kick. Looking to get him into a clinch. They got him up against the cage. Does Clark. Even if he gets the takedown here, which he doesn't, thankfully, I still don't think he's going to win this round. I just think Tyson Pedro did too much, but he's got his back, though. This is not good. If he's got the hooks in, This might be it. Trying to sweep him, looking for the rear naked choke still. He hangs on, but yeah, I would say 10-9 Tyson Pedro. So it comes down to this final round. Unless you gave it to Tyson Pedro in the first, which I don't think a lot of judges did. We'll see, though. As Clark keeping slightly out of range. Looking at his chance to dart in and shoot in on Pedro to get that major takedown to hang on and potentially get a split decision win. Doesn't get the takedown, though, but he's got him against the cage. Quick elbow strike. Some more knees to the ribs. At least he's doing some damage here. Clark trying to get some dirty boxing, but Pedro using his wrestling to stop that. Left short uppercut, though. That's good to see. The referee's going to separate him now as Clark's getting the first, and he's starting to tire now. As Clark made him and even getting close, but Pedro's the aggressor. There's a nice jab and a left cross, rather. Excuse me. Now there's a cut underneath the eye of Devin Clark. Great movement here. Looking for the takedown. Can't get him down. On the verge of exhaustion here. Knee strike to the thigh. Another elbow. But tightens the clinch there to stop that. And now looking for the takedown. He's got the takedown with the underhook. And yeah, he won that round. You know, as far as depends on how the judges scored that first round. If you give it to 10-9 Tyson Pedro, he wins by split decision. If you gave it, yep, it's going to be split. 29-28 for both guys. 28-28 Clark. That's tough for Tyson Pedro because I would have loved to see him get that win because he actually pushed the fight. He didn't lay on top of the guy in the first round, but it's the way she goes, unfortunately. He wants to fight Forrest Griffin. I hate to break it to you, Devin Clark, but Forrest Griffin is not fighting anybody. He is retired. That is hilarious. What the fuck? You cannot be fighting Forrest Griffin. That is nuts. Dan the Hangman Hooker, though, taking on Damir Ismagulov. As far as our co-main event, minus 930 for Dan Hooker. That is crazy. Plus 740 for Damir. I think it's a lot closer than that. Both guys looking for their 20th win in their careers. Yamasaki's our referee. Cage side judges here. Hooker's fighting from a home crowd tonight. Opening bell rings. Here we go. Let's step in and engage. Damir with a good countering of the right hand with a left jab and a good right hook. Here we go. Noticeable gash above the hairline of Daniel Hooker. That's what I'm talking about. They were disrespecting him. Disrespecting him. As misses the big right hand. Here comes Damir with a counter right hand. Slipping past the right hook and counters with a right hook. Damir is just fucking rocking him now. Misses the head kick. There's another counter with a quick left jab and a right cross. That's the thing, man. It's a disadvantage for both guys as far as one guy's coming in on short notice, but the other guy's got to change his entire game plan for somebody else. And this has definitely paid off extremely well for Damir so far. Looking for the right hook that misses. Damir throws some punches and a low kick, but Hooker does a good job of dodges the foreman. Dodges not only that, but also smartly checks the ladder. Check the lead leg from Damir. Lands two jabs, doesn't have the reach for the hook to the body, though. Hooker misses the jab, lands the left kick to the body, though. It's a nice 1-2 from Damir. He's doing a really, really good job. Countering the right hand with two jabs are followed by a big right hand that misses. Slipping past the right hook attempt that attacks with a good kick to the leg. Hooker, I mean, he's probably down. He's down on the scorecard for me as far as for this first round. And we're going to check on the cut. Not going to be a problem yet, but we'll see how this fight commences here. Yeah, Hooker's feeling the damage of those leg kicks, too. The left jab is off target with a head kick, though. There's a jab and a low kick. Minute left in the fight, or in the first round. Obvious limp still. Throws the head kick, doesn't make contact on it, though. There's a fucking two jabs and a right cross, and another cut that has been reopened on the gash of Daniel Hooker as far as that just hairline right, probably right at that widow's peak if I had to guess. Connects with a nice jab and hits a straight right as well. I mean, what a first round. Yeah, he's feeling it. Heavy underdog, but you wouldn't have noticed it. For sure, he outclassed him. For fucking sure. Left cross from Dan Hooker. Left hook to the body. There's a left cross. Hooker's off target with a left jab and a right hand. Connects though, so that's good. But they meet in the center. Damir misses the left jab, lands the left hook to the body. Misses jab, lands the left hook to the body. Meet in the center again. There's a two-punch combination. Quick left to straight right. Those combinations are working really well. Dan Hooker with a 1-2 of his own. There's a leg kick but misses. As Hooker with countering with a jab and a left hook to the ribs. Left jab and misses the right hand. That lands two jabs, but doesn't connect with the right hook. Does Hooker. He's starting to slow down too. Plus the limping. Still noticeable. Demir starting to slow down. Misses the right hook, gets kind of the left jab and a right hook that's avoiding the last possible second. Dodging the right hand, counterattacks with a solid right hand. They meet in the center here. They're starting to strike, but neither fighter can land anything significant. Again, nothing lands significant. Final minute in the second. Lands a left jab, but the right hand's blocked. A good 1-2 from Daniel Hooker. Left jab misses the right hook. There's a jab and doesn't connect to the right end of the body, though, from Hooker. He's still noticeably limping. Thumping kick to the thigh from Daniel Hooker, though, to end out the second. That was a close round. I mean, it's 12-12, depending on how you grade it. If you're going off of damage, you'd have to go with Demir. If you're going off of, I guess, just as far as pushing the pace and as far as controlling the octagon and also they landed the same amount of shots, maybe you give it to Dan Hooker. We'll see. Yeah. This is crazy. This is nuts. I think Dan Hooker's going to have to get a finish. Yeah, it's now or never. Now or never. You cannot lay a goose egg like this in your hometown. In the co-main at such a heavy favor. There's a 1-2 and nails the right cross, though. Does Demir. Hits the jab. Right cross is blocked. Left jab. Right hook's blocked from Dan Hooker. Is missing the big right hand from Hooker. Here comes a fucking jab and a sithering kick to the lead leg. Wow. He's got to stop from leg kicks. It is all over. Unreal. 20-1. Took a fight on a fucking week notice. If that. Does it say it? Where's the news? Does it say? Ah, damn it. I want to say it was like a week notice. Unreal. Thanks all of his sponsors for backing him. No fucking team either. And he wins. Heavy underdog. Unreal. As he praises fucking family, his friends, his supporters, thanks them all, praises Hooker for the tough fight, and our main event, the Killer Gorilla, the Cannon Man, and Jerry Cannonier taking on Robert the Reaper Whittaker, and our main event, 13-4, 20-5, karate, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, mixed martial artist from Jared Cannonier, plus 150, minus 150. I think that's very, 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 very telling. I think that's a great line. Because I think Whittaker's the better stand-up guy, but the better wrestler's probably Cannonier, so it makes it a little bit closer. Yamasaki's the referee. Cage side judges. Both weighed in at 185, but of course Cannonier's an absolute beast. He's probably fighting around 195. Alright, we're underway. They come together and strike. Neither fighter can really land anything. Of course, it's a 5-round fight. Whittaker's off target with a head kick. Trying to go with the body, doesn't have the reach, though. Slipping past the right hook attempt, and actually the jab to the right hand that nearly fails to connect. Lands the left jab and misses the right hook. There's a left jab, and then the left hook to the body from Whittaker. There's a left hook from Cannonier. There's a superb head kick from Whittaker, who knocks him down. Looking to finish the fight here. I think he will. Pounding away. Yamasaki stops the fight. What a win for Robert Whittaker. First round TKO finish. Hadn't had a TKO finish in a hot minute. And then the co-main, we had a hell of a fight. The main event, we have a hell of a fight. What a win for Robert Whittaker. Those thanks having connected to Stand Strong Boxing, rubbing and prepared for the fight, and his sponsors for supporting financially. Definitely want to see the rematch with him and Asanya. Boy, the commercial rating did not go well but boy, what a main event though. With Robert Whittaker and Jerry Cannonier. Boy, yeah, popularity going in the toilet. Yeah, I mean, as far as for the KO of the night, they gave it to Brad. That's a fine call. I would give a performance bonus for Jonathan Pierce, for Shavgat, for I'm trying to think who else. I think we're gonna give one to I'm gonna give one to Norma. That's kind of weird, but she put on a hell of a fight for being such a heavy underdog. Same thing for Leonardo Santos for taking a fucking beating. We'll give one to Tyson Pedro as well for what he should have won. And yeah, we gotta give one obviously for me. A lot of bonuses. A lot of bonuses tonight. I think we're just gonna go with the 100,000 instead of 500,000. I think that's the right call for it being a fight night. Yeah, we made 36,000. That's crazy. The guys didn't really make a whole lot, but they made, well, I wouldn't say they didn't make a lot. It's just there's not a lot of guys that made 6 figures. As far as nobody made 6 figures, but just about everybody at least made as far as 5 figures. A couple only made 4, but That's a good sign. That's a good sign that everybody... That's crazy. Megan Anderson only made $1,000. The fucking loser of the fight made more than she did, so that was kind of funny, but... So away she goes. That's the contract for you. But that will do it for episode 5. What a unique card that was. As far as we saw an incredible upset in the co-main for a guy coming in on short notice and taking a big-time fight. And not only going the distance, finishing the fight and really outclassing him the entire fight. That was a very, very impressive performance from him. I'm not surprised, though. As far as he was a guy that is super talented, I was shocked at the betting odds for that fight. Thought it was a lot closer than what they gave it, and he delivered in a big, big way. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.